Welcome back to Casual Bias Rugby. Aiden, we finally got a normal episode out again. It feels like forever since we've actually done it. How are you, my brother?
I'm good. Yeah, it's good to be back to regular scheduled programming, back on the rugby chats on the Casual Bias Rugby YouTube, talking about the best comp this year, Super Rugby. Another great round, another spectacle for the fans. Little less close in some of the games, but so much fun.
Yeah, and obviously the table's starting to shape up. Are we in the middle of it now? There's about five rounds left. Yeah, but it's been such a good season of Super Rugby. It's the best one in a very long time in terms of the quality that we've seen on the pitch, in terms of the quality content that we've seen. I mean, you probably saw the Blues video. I know you don't like the Blues, but even them creating like a little storyline now, we might have had a shaky start, but don't count us out. Like it's fire. Everything about the Super Rugby this far has been great. It's been a spectacle. Before we get into round 11's results, and then we'll move on to round 12, tell us, have you guys joined the Discord channel? What do you guys think? Give us some suggestions of it. Do you like it? Don't you like it? Have you joined, left, whatever, right? Give us some suggestions on that. Also, do remember to hit that like and subscribe button. It's totally free. We literally just talk a bit of shit when it comes to rugby. Just a rugby fan community that comes together and talking like that. Go and support Aiden as well, Rugby Ramblings on TikTok. And without any further ado, we're not going to waste any time. The Chiefs took on the Force. Massive victory. This was not the Force that we've seen all season, but this was a clinical Chiefs performance. Right up there. And I mean, if you look at all the injuries that they also had, bit of adversity in the game, but the way that they performed. We'll get into a little special 10 minutes performance by a certain guy that we also said. But overall, how good. 56 points to 22.
Yeah, it was close in the first half. It looked a bit more like what we were expecting out of this Force side. Obviously, they've been so good this year. And then, obviously, Chiefs, no Damian McKenzie, Anton Leonard-Brown off injured. He's out for the rest of the Super Rugby season with his shoulder done. And you're thinking, there's a chance here for the Force, but then just superstar plays from some of those players. Jacob having an absolute worldie game at 10, which is great for the All Blacks. I think he'll be in the mix for that sort of third 10 jersey in the All Blacks. And then Sean Stevenson, brilliant. Imoni Narawa, brilliant. And the man, the myth, the legend, he's back and he's ridiculously good.
Immediately. After such a long injury, you're thinking, okay, well, it's going to take him about a game or two maybe to just warm up, get used to it again. Touches it, beats about 4 defenders, beautiful offload. Like, what the fuck was that all about?
Yeah, and he won a turnover as well. He's on for 10 minutes and he has like 50 meters made and 3 defenders beaten, a turnover, an offload. You're like, bro, he's just so good. And
bro, he needs to be nerfed. He really does.
He's Artie Savia 2.0. We all know how good that guy is, and we'll get to him.
The injuries thing, I feel like we need to give him even more credit because, I mean, they found themselves like 10 forwards on the pitch. Didn't Jacobson play on the wing?
Cortez Ratimer played on the wing.
He did, but then they moved to forward as well because I remember Narawa went on to 13.
Yeah. So they were playing a funky game, but hey, it worked. Just shows how good at athletes some of those guys are, and it's a statement win, a real big statement win at home for the Chiefs, and it's a little worrying if you're a fan of a particular team that I support for this week coming up.
Yeah, well, is it though?
Nah, we'll pump them. Let's move on.
No, but listen. The Force, obviously, we've given them their credit, right? In terms of they've had brilliant performances, and it hasn't really been individuals. I know Carlo Duzano's probably him or Ari Surveyor has probably been like player of the tournament so far for me. But they've had good performances. But this one was just, it felt like the Chiefs were on a different level. I don't want to knock the Force. Like, they came out to play in the first half, but then something in the Chiefs just clicked and it was scary. It was scary good. So, yeah. We'll move on. We'll give the Chiefs the credit because 56 points to 22. Holy shit. I told you. The colors played against each other. The Reds versus the Blues. I told you.
I agreed with you. I said the Reds would win.
I love this Reds team. Something about them. Just so sexy. And I bet you love this result.
I did.
35 points to 21.
I'm a full-time Blues hater. And so this was brilliant. It's a full-time job. If there's no Blues haters left, it means I'm dead. Yeah, it was just the Reds being the Reds at home. They're just so tough to beat. Tate McDermott is sensational at the moment. Obviously, Fraser McBride in there too. It's just across the park. Hunter Paisami in the midfield is playing brilliantly as well. And then Tom Liner had a worldy performance at 10 as well. So it was just a combination of their big players and their important players stepping up. And not that it looked comfortable the whole game, but they looked in control. And it didn't look like the Blues were going to steal it from them.
No. Do you reckon the Blues wake up now after this one, after their post?
Well, they sort of have to, don't they? It'll be a bit shit if they make that big deal out of the post and then stink it out.
I mean, it wasn't even a short 10-second post. They dedicated about 2 minutes into that reel that they put on.
Yeah. So they better pull finger out of their ass and start winning.
Oh, it's tough to be the Blues, right? Like, obviously, the players would know that they're stinking it out at the moment. The team would know they're stinking it out at the moment. And what hurts even more is everyone knows they're defending champions. And they were so good last season. Like, the drop-off is crazy. I know they've had injuries, but they've also, like, they haven't been plagued with it necessarily like the Hurricanes that had about their 8th best players gone. Right? Like, and then you're like, how is this even possible? It just feels like nothing is going the Blues' way, except for when they play the Hurricanes. I
except for
the Hurricanes the whole time.
Why against the Hurricanes do they play well? It makes no sense to me. But
if they lost those 2 games against the Hurricanes, which they probably should have in terms of how they performed the rest of the season, right? Because the Hurricanes have been better than the Blues. The Blues would be sitting beneath Fiji, beneath the Drua. They'd be last. But because they've got those 2 results, they'll take it all day long. It gives them a fighting chance still.
Yeah, I mean, they got to do something different. Because you can't be the defending champs and then not even make the playoff spots. You know, that's a big miss from them if they can't get into that top 6. So we shall see. Who have they got coming home? They've obviously got the Force at home. They've got the Drua away. So they need to win all their games, by the way, coming in pretty much. So got to beat the Force.
Is it in Lautoka?
Nah, it's in Suva.
Okay. They'll probably win that one then.
Then they got to play Moana Pacifica. Then they got to play the last round, the Waratahs at home. So they do have easier games.
I'm telling you now, they'll win every single one of those games.
You still reckon they make the top 6?
Yeah.
It'll be interesting.
Is it the top 6 that goes through?
Yeah.
They'll do it. I reckon they get some fuel in the belly and they finally just get something going. Because in the end, right, you look at that team and it's like, been there, done that. They know what it is to get over the line. Crunch time.
Yeah.
Well, that's what we hope, right? We need a good Blues team. Just feels strange watching this.
Yeah, I suppose.
Look at you feeling like, do we really need a good Blues team? Well, we don't really have a good Blues team and still they're beating you. So you can just sit down there. Anyway. We had Pacifica taking on the Drua as well. As expected, we called the victory for Moana. Arisavaya. How do you contain this guy? I'm asking this as a Springbok guy that will probably give some insider info to Rassie Erasmus. How do you stop this guy? How do you stop him knowing you've got a Wallace Atiti to deal with as well?
Yeah, that's the thing. That's the thing that I'm excited about. I mean, I know this is a Super Rugby chat, but that's the thing I'm excited about with the All Blacks is they are so similar and so dangerous in how they play that if you manage to contain one somehow, there's just no chance you can contain them both. And
Yeah.
you'll see games where one of them will seem quiet and the other one will look incredible. And that's because teams are putting in so much effort to contain one of them that they have to lay off the other one a little bit to do so. And look,
Exactly. I think that was kind of the situation as well that we saw throughout last season, during our international season, where it was like people were saying Adi was quiet or not on form, and I was like, well, it just looks like the teams are focusing on him, and it's letting uh, Wallace Atiti just do whatever he wants to. Now you kind of split it again, and now both of them can stand out. So as long as those two guys just don't get in each other's way, because you know how it can sometimes get where it's like they're fighting for kind of the same thing, and then they can get in each other's way. But both of them look mature enough, and the game is advanced enough to just let the other one cook.
yeah,
And
like genuinely, Adi Savia, I don't know how to describe him. He may be the most influential. I'm not going to say the best because I know we're all big fans of Peter Steph Toy, but in terms of influence on a game, I don't think there's anyone else that has more influence on a game than he does. Like it is.
there's only one guy, and that's Damien Willemse, but I get what you mean.
I think that's a personal thing with you, Casual. I mean, I think he's brilliant, but I just think the influence Adi has on a game is like it's outrageous. The stuff he's doing around the park, not just on the ball, but off the ball as well. His defense is ridiculously good. His assists and putting other people, ahead of him to create chances is ridiculous as well. And if that fails, he'll just do it himself. We saw probably one of the best disallowed tries you'll ever see from a number 7, a chip and chase over a Fijian winger down the side to beat another defender.
Right, yeah, we're not going to talk here like he's just some normal Lucy, because this guy can play 15. We saw it in club rugby where he just plays 15, fullback, and scores like 4 tries. Are you kidding me? No, it's ridiculous. I won't be having that, look at a 7 chasing past the winger. Because calm down.
But he's outrageous. That's the point.
Adi is a freak athlete, and the influence that he's had with this Moana team, like obviously we spoke about, we feel that Moana will win this game, right? And Moana has stepped up their game. It's not just Adi, right? We have to give credit to Moana. I know they're still sitting in 8th, but in terms of what the expectation was towards what the reality kind of is for them at the moment, they've played brilliantly. They've been such a joy to watch. I mean, it's sad that they're actually sitting in 8th because I think they're the team with the most passion at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, we say they are an 8th. You're correct. They're 1 point behind the Waratahs. They're 2 points behind the Force and the Hurricanes. So they're 1 win away from leapfrogging those teams. Like they're not down in the dumps. They're still 3 points clear of the Blues at the moment, and the Highlanders, which is amazing. But yeah, like these guys are so close, and even in some of the games they've lost this year, which have been very close, they probably should have won a couple of those. So they're competing, and it's the big change from Moana this year to Moana previous years, where last few years they've been just trying to get those wins over New Zealand teams, get those wins over some of the Aussie teams. This year they're competing. They want to be in the top 6, and they want to be in those finals. And they have a realistic shot of doing it. They've got some games that they can definitely win coming in, some home games. And as you said, there's a lot of good talent in that team. Miracle Failangi is incredible at the moment. Pellegrini, who I think should be starting at 10 over Garden Bishop every time, but not sure why. Toala in the midfield. Tamoy Falau on the wing. He's been a little quiet in previous games, but we know how good he can be. They've got talent all over, and they're knocking on the door. I think they could be in for a shout to get the top 6.
Yeah, I wouldn't put it past them, right? Because the Waratahs only win every second game, so they could possibly leapfrog them. Do they still have to play the Force?
Let's have a look. Super Rugby.
You see, that's the thing, right? Like, there's 5 games left. All they need to do is beat someone that's above them, and they'll most likely leapfrog them as well.
So they've got Last round's the Hurricanes. Round 15, they've got the Chiefs. Ooh. Round before that, they've got the Blues. Okay, they have a tough finish, I'll be honest. So they have the Highlanders this weekend coming up, winnable game. Then the Hurricanes, Chiefs, and the Blues.
That's very tough. That is very tough.
Yeah. So
this is the same team that beat the Crusaders away from home.
Yeah, well, they can beat any of those teams, but like beating them all is going to be tough. They should beat the Highlanders. The Hurricanes game, they already beat the Hurricanes once this year, and I think they'll beat the Blues at home.
Yeah. I just realized you got a clean sweep this weekend.
I nailed it. I got everything right.
I know. Myself and Jake got the last one wrong. The Crusaders absolutely crunched the Islanders, the poor Islanders.
Yeah, it looked good for 10 minutes.
That's the same amount of time that Wallace Titi looked good.
Yeah.
Now, Crusaders, different gravy this season, back into the form that we know they can get into. A scary team. Poor Islanders. It always ends like this. Promising start, and then it ends like this. Rinse and repeat. Same thing over and over again.
I mean, another team with some pretty outstanding players. Will Jordan is doing Will Jordan things, scoring tries.
You know what I just realized? Apologies for butting in. The Reds and the Waratahs, so they're 1 point above Moana, right? But both of those teams have got a game less at the moment. So that makes it a bit more tough.
The force on the Waratahs, you mean? What about
the Reds and the Waratahs?
Oh, okay, yeah, game in hand. Yeah, Reds and Waratahs have a game in hand. Yeah, you're right.
It makes it a bit tough for Moana. But, I mean, if they lose that game, then it doesn't really matter.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it depends who they still have to play. I don't think there's too much to really say. I don't want to jump on the Islanders. Like, I feel bad for the team at the moment.
Yeah. They're in a weird spot. It's like, I'd say before teams like the Drua and Moana Pacifica joined Super Rugby, the Highlanders was like everyone's second favorite team. Everyone liked watching the Highlanders win. And now with Moana and the Drua, and one of those is everyone's second favorite team. And it's like this neglected child of New Zealand rugby, the Highlanders.
Yeah, it's sad. It's the same kind of as the Lions from a South African perspective, because obviously there's a lot of Lions supporters, but everyone else is second team. Everyone wants the Lions to do well. They start the season off great, and it's like, well, maybe this is the season where they finally kick on and get into the playoffs. Because they were sitting in first and they were sitting in second for quite a while. Like, they played brilliant rugby. And then the drop-off is extraordinary. Like, it's something that you can't describe. And then they wake up in the last, 3 rounds. But they can't do anything with their final little burst. It's sad, but it is what it is, right? It's not our problem.
Yeah, the players got to step up. And look, it's experience. They got a lot of young guys in that Highlanders team, a lot of young guys. And they'll get experience. And as long as the squad stays relatively similar, building on a couple of years, they'll get better and they will be experienced players and they'll understand how to win games. And ultimately, it will come back to the middle at some point and they'll start competing to win the competition again. But it does take time when you've got a squad.
They need one good season.
Yeah. Like
just to get the interest back into the Islanders where they can attract a bigger name or something like that.
Yeah.
Or get a proper talent that they don't just let go.
Yeah, that's where I think, obviously, it's a completely different topic, but loosening up the eligibility for in New Zealand and Australia's international teams. If you play in Super Rugby, you can be picked. And so you could have Aussie talent coming and playing in those teams, and vice versa. And I think that would help that sort of evening out the teams in the comp. But other than that, it's just tough to be a Highlanders fan.
Yeah. Brumbies versus the Canes. Clutch victory. You'll take that all day long. This was a massive one for you. Really massive one. Because we've spoke about how good the Brumbies have been. They've just ticked along. And we expected them to keep on going like this. It's a bogey team for you already. You did it. You did it.
Yeah, first time the Hurricanes have beaten the Brumbies in Canberra since 2017. So it's been
That's
8 years.
ridiculous.
It's been 8 years since the Hurricanes have won there. And we tried to lose it. Oh my God, the last 10 minutes of that game was so stressful. The penalties we were giving away was like, we got the speed wobbles. We were much better than them for that one game. For 70 minutes of that game, we were definitely the better team. Billy Proctor, Riley Higgins, we knew they'd make a difference. It was a huge difference. And I feel bad because I thought Umaga Jensen and Balin Sullivan have been really good this year.
Yeah.
But the impact that Higgins and Proctor had was immense. Obviously, Proctor went over for a try. Higgins making plenty of breaks, plenty of offloads, putting people in gaps. Same with Proctor, who's also a menace on defense.
Yeah.
And it was
He's just come back from injury as well and just set the world alight. This guy is crazy.
All Blacks 13.
How he does not have more All Blacks caps and stuff is beyond me.
He's my 13, 100%. He should start at 13. He is so good, both sides of the ball, which is what you want from a 13. He's not only reliable defensively, he's brilliant on attack.
He's literally already, in my opinion. Well, we're only judging it on Super Rugby, but that's all we can judge it on. So I don't want to put any caveats on it. But if you take some of that form into international rugby, he'll be one of the best outside centers in the world already.
Yeah,
that's how good he is. Because people want to knock this thing where, well, it's Super Rugby, but it's like, yeah, well, we had to judge Wallace Satiti just on Super Rugby. Then he came into international scene and just played the most brilliant rugby. Like, I don't get what this narrative is of people saying, oh, well, this franchise rugby, it doesn't mean he's going to do it. Well, you have to fucking test the waters, bro.
Yeah, you can't just... If we only judged off international rugby, we'd have the first team that ever played, and that's it, because we'd never put new people in. It would just be the same 100-year-old dudes. And I think it's because he's the most natural 13. Like, a lot of the guys in the New Zealand camp are 12/13s or 12s mainly, or they're, wingers that have moved into centres. Billy Proctor is a 13. Like, that's his position. He's not this... we probably could be versatile, but he's not meant to be this versatile player. And so having that specialist 13, you can just tell he's so smooth with it. He just looks real comfortable with every decision he makes. And
I don't get why he's not the 13 for the All Blacks, especially knowing his inside centre partner is the vice captain of the All Blacks. I know Jordie Barrett's not playing for the Hurricanes at the moment, but it just feels like such a easy decision to make. It's a partnership that knows each other inside out, that bounce off each other absolutely brilliantly. Both of them are like the best in the world in their positions.
Yeah.
Why not give it a chance at international level? It doesn't make sense. Let's not ramble on about this.
We could talk about it forever, so let's move on. Yeah.
Yeah, but I said the upper hand would maybe go to the Brumbies. I mean, it doesn't feel like that far-fetched. It was a brilliant game. So close, nail-biting. But these are the victories that you need. That is the confidence booster that you truly need. Felt like a statement victory.
Yeah, 100%.
It just screams one of those.
Yeah,
because it obviously pushed you into fifth position. You want to play, obviously. You'd rather play the Reds and the Brumbies, for instance, than playing the Chiefs or the Crusaders, right? So you'll take that all day long.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, we've got some big games coming up, but I think it's the step in the right direction. It's not a comeback, but it is something that needed to be done. We needed to win a game, and we did. And now we've got some big games coming up, and it should give us that bit of confidence to know we can win against those top teams.
Yeah, because the Brumbies are a force to be reckoned with.
100%.
Anyway, let's do our
round 12.
Yeah. Okay, so we've got the Blues taking on the Force. A little Friday morning special. Now, the question is, take your bias aside, or your anti-bias, whatever. Do you reckon Blues hit some form after that post and get their victory?
Probably. I think it'll be close because I think the Force will want to make a bounce back from that big loss against the Chiefs, and we know they're better than that performance. So I think they'll step it up, and obviously, I don't think the Blues are as good as the Chiefs are this year, obviously. But I feel like knowing the Blues, they ride on that emotional wave, and I think that the team getting behind each other and the fans getting behind them after that video, I think they will put in a big performance. But I think it'll be,
if they lose a couple of games after that video, it will be one of those history-making memes.
yeah, that they need to win this game because this. To be fair, even if they lose the one after this one, immediately after you post that video, you have to win the next game, right? Like
the pressure that's on these guys now, just not to become a joke.
Yeah. So I think, they'll get it done. As much as I dislike the Blues, I think they'll get it done by 5-6 points.
Imagine the marketing team just caught them off guard, and the Blues players are sitting like in the hotel, and they just see this and they're like, "What the fuck did they just do to us?"
Yeah,
because this is an unreal expectation. All of a sudden, oh my word! Just sitting there scrolling, and you see your team post this, and it's like, well, you don't want to be part of that. So now you have to perform.
Yeah,
you have to. Oh my goodness. I can see that if they lose this, they might fire the marketing team. It's kind of like the Exeter Chiefs that played against Gloucester, where they suspended the coaches for the embarrassing defeat. Did you hear about that?
No.
Bro, yeah, crazy. Absolutely crazy. By the way, we didn't say it when we spoke about the Reds earlier. Did you see the Wallabies coach got announced?
Yeah, Les Kiss. He's going to be. I think it was the wrong person.
Who would you have gone for?
Stephen Larkham. Yeah, 100%. The guy has been coaching a Brumbies team that has consistently been the best Aussie team. Every year they compete against the New Zealand teams. Every year. And I think Les Kiss is a great coach, and the Reds are doing really well this year. And they were pretty good last year as well. But, bro, what has Stephen Larkham got to do, man? Like, he's consistently shy of winning.
Do you reckon it might have been one of those where they went to Stephen Larkham first? What if he just said no?
Maybe, but I couldn't see him saying no.
No, me neither. He was like the outright favorite. I thought it's going to be him.
He's been brilliant. And you look, when all those teams are playing at their best, the Brumbies are the best of them.
Like, yeah, but the Brumbies also by far has the most talent in their team. Do you reckon? What do you reckon? I don't think the Reds coaching is necessarily an issue. Like, they don't have the squad depth nearly as good as the Brumbies, in my opinion. Yeah, I think they play exciting rugby, good brand of rugby.
Like, knockout rugby, the Brumbies style of rugby is going to win.
Most likely, yeah.
They're the best in the comp, not just in Australia. They're the best in the comp at line-out mauls, and they have been the most prolific tries in the competition from set piece as line-out mauls. And they're the best at that. Billy Pollard, absolute, just always scores. Alan Alatoa, always scoring tries as a prop. And they have some of the most electric backs as well to go with probably the most solid forward pack in terms of scrummaging, line-outs, and just all over the park. So I don't know. It's kind of baffling to me.
I can't wait to watch the Wallabies again. I can't wait to watch them and see what they conjure up. Oh, it's going to be so exciting.
I'll be honest. Like, we've got great talent, but so do they now, which is great, but nervy.
But we need a good Aussie team. 100%. I want to see them. I want to watch the Bledisloe and not think, so how much is New Zealand taking this year?
Yeah, I don't want to lose the Bledisloe, though. Let's be honest. Okay,
I wouldn't mind you losing the Bledisloe.
Yeah, no, it's a weird one because it's like I want Aussie to do well because it's beneficial for rugby, not just in New Zealand, but obviously the Rugby Championship. It's beneficial. World Cups. It's beneficial. Autumn Nations. It's beneficial. It's beneficial everywhere. I don't want to see my team lose. What are you on about? Like,
well, it's not my team. I don't care if you win or lose.
Yeah, I'd be happy for
right?
Like, South Africa.
South Africa and New Zealand, even though we are the biggest rivals, right? I guess I still I want New Zealand to beat everyone except South Africa, because when we beat you, then it just makes it feel like such a more prestigious victory.
Yeah.
Like that's how it always was, and I want to do the same with Australia. And for me, it's like I like waking up at 5 or 6 in the morning and watching a good game of rugby between the Wallabies and the All Blacks. It's always great. I thoroughly feel so involved. I wake up and I'm more excited for that game than I am for us playing Argentina. I don't know.
Speaking of, though, in general, this year's rugby championship is going to be spicy because
Yeah,
you guys are world champs. The games we had with you last year, although you won both of them, were close and were both away for us, for the New Zealanders. Australia is I'm going to say Australia is back. Australia is back, and Argentina beat every team in the comp last year.
yeah.
So this is going to be a nuts rugby championship.
Oh, it's going to be so sexy.
Yeah. Anyways, we're losing track. We're meant to be talking about Super Rugby.
Oh, I can't wait for the international season. All of a sudden, I'm just thinking of it. Drunk reviews will be back, by the way. Okay, so we've both got the Blues to bounce back. Drua taking on the Reds. Where's this one? Is it in Lautoka?
Super as well.
Okay. I said it before. I'm always going to back the Reds. It's worked a treat this far. They know they have to win this game. A win here can kind of set some standards for them or give them some distance in terms of the teams below them. They'll have to get the victory here. Every game is a must win. I mean, what's the Reds' run after this?
Yeah, like I think if the Reds win this game,
Waratahs, Brumbies, Hurricanes, and then the Drua again.
Yeah, so they've got all the home derbies coming up. So a lot of New Zealand derbies will finish the season, and a lot of Australian derbies will finish the season. But look, if I'm being honest, if they get a win here, they probably
gives them some breathing room for those derbies.
They probably only need to win one of their next 4 games after that to be solid, you know? So a win here will give them a lot of boost going into the tail end of the season, and they'll qualify pretty highly if they do.
Yeah. Okay. I'm backing the Reds. Give it to me by 10. 10 points.
Same boat. It's not Lautoka, and that makes a huge difference, I reckon. I don't know what it is, but it clearly makes a difference. And I'm going to say it'll be close, like you said, probably 8 to 10 points to the Reds for me.
Hurricanes versus the Chiefs.
Notorious.
Let me say something.
Amazing games. Every game, Hurricanes
I'm
Chiefs.
calling the upset.
The Hurricanes, then, right? I guess we're the
I'm backing the Hurricanes to actually get it done. I think that Chiefs performance was so good that it's gonna overhype them for this weekend. The Hurricanes have played better. They've got a massive victory over the Brumbies now. The Chiefs, they've got their breathing room. I think the Hurricanes know that they're very hungry. They know they kind of on the tail end of things at the moment. There's a lot of guys pushing for their spot. Some of those guys getting back into form now. Chiefs obviously sitting with major injuries. Ruben Love at 10 again. Billy Proctor's there, of course.
Yeah, Satiti's on the bench still, which I like from a New Zealand point of view because there's no need to throw him straight back into a
don't start. You're only going to get about 10, 15 minutes of the guy.
It'd be a terrifying 10, 15 minutes. Don't get me wrong. But in general, it's like you don't need – this is a derby. This will be a very physical game. And from someone who's just coming back from injury, there is no need – when their loose forwards have been incredible already, there's no need to chuck a guy like that in who's still kind of recovering to get battered around for 70 minutes, you know?
Samisoni Tokiyawa is also on the bench. It's not starting. I'm surprised.
Yeah, they've got some big names on the bench, man. So Tokiyaho, Aiden Ross, Arkoi, Parker, Satiti, and Xavier Rowe. It's some good people bringing on for the Chiefs. So, yeah, but looking at it... You
need to do your damage at the start then.
Yeah, our backline is going to be firing. We've got Cam Roygaard, Ruben Love, Riley Higgins, Billy Proctor, Nani Punivai, Kenny Naholo, who was brilliant last week, and Callum Harkin, who's also been really good. So,
he's kind of just someone that goes under the radar, but he's a great player.
yeah.
So
And
at the start of the season, when Ruben Love was still injured, I think Harkin, he also got injured, right?
Yeah.
After the first couple of games, but I've seen this guy. He's good. He's very good.
Yeah, and little sneaky pick for fantasy if you're interested. He plays 15, but he's listed as a 10. So
yeah, but are you going to do that against the Chiefs? Probably not.
Yep, I've done it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Anyway, you're probably backing your boys, right?
Always. And I genuinely think we can win this game. It's always very 50-50. Hurricanes, Chiefs, if you go back.
At home as well?
Yeah, at home, it doesn't really seem to make a difference between these derbies, I'll be honest. It's pretty 50-50, but I'm going to say Hurricanes, another tight win. I want to say Hurricanes by 8, just to not give the Chiefs a bonus point. But it wouldn't really matter. The Chiefs are pretty much secured at the top. So
yeah, you don't need to worry about them. Which is kind of a good thing, right? Like you just focus on your job.
Yep, just got to win.
Brumbies, Waratahs, big game. Waratahs obviously broke the streak the first time that they met this season. Do you reckon they do it again? We don't know what week this is for the Waratahs because
this is 50-50. Are they on the on or the off?
Yeah, because it was a bye.
Yeah.
It's a bit unfair.
Yeah, this would usually be an easy prediction, but now I don't know. Brumbies will bounce back. I don't see Brumbies losing. I mean, the Waratahs are my dark horse team, but I don't see the Brumbies losing 2 games in a row at home.
Yeah. And I don't see the Waratahs all of a sudden beating the Brumbies twice in one season after they lost 15 times in a row.
Yeah, exactly. So I think close game again. I think the Waratahs will fire, but I just think that the class of the Brumbies, and as I mentioned,
I don't think they will.
You reckon it's a dud? Dud week?
I think the Brumbies pump them this time.
Okay, so I'm saying good week.
Maybe they didn't go in for Stephen Larkin, and he's like, "Well, fuck that. I'm gonna show you something now. You should have picked me."
Sure. So you're gonna go with Waratahs dud week and lose. I'm gonna go with Waratahs good week, but still lose.
Yeah, I'm just looking at this Brumbies team, and it's such a sexy team. They're playing at home this time. They want revenge for what happened the previous time they met.
Yeah.
Swali at 15 again.
I like him at 15. I think he's good there. Reminds me a little of Israel Folau a little bit.
Against who was it that he had that brilliant game at 15? Was it against the Blues?
Moana Pacifica.
No. It was against the Chiefs.
Yeah, Chiefs and Moana Pacifica.
He was so good.
Yeah.
So good. Unstoppable. That was the game where I called the victory for the Chiefs because I said it's just their on week. For the Waratahs, it was just their on week.
Yeah, exactly.
Highlanders versus Moana.
Everyone
we need a victory from Moana.
We do need a victory from Moana. If they want to make the top 6, they need to win this game. It'll be very tough for the Highlanders to make the top 6, but they're still a dangerous team, and they can still. They're not an easy beat, right? Like it's a game you want to win, and you think you probably should, but it's definitely not easy. So it'll be a big task for these Moana boys to go down to Dunedin. Good dry rugby, which I think will suit Moana. I think we saw a lot of handling errors in the heat. And slippery ball when they played the draw, especially in that first 20 minutes. So I think having a dry ball allows Moana to play the style of rugby they like playing. And I think they'll win. I think it'll be close again. No bonus point for either. I think there'll be a losing bonus point, but I don't think there'll be a winning one. Give me Moana.
These two mate. Am I thinking Highlanders versus Fiji or the Highlanders versus the Moana Pacifica? I can't remember. But the Islanders had a very, very good game against one of those two teams. I think it might have been Moana.
This year, the draw. But yeah.
Oh, have they not played before this week?
No.
Okay, yeah. So then it was against the draw. I'm just going to back Moana purely on vibes.
I think Moana will win. Close though. Give me Moana by like 4-5. I don't think it'll be a blowout because it's at
The
home.
thing is, I would never feel surprised if the Highlanders win
No,
against any of these teams. For
No,
some
but-
reason, they're sitting second last, but I wouldn't ever be surprised.
they're the first team to beat the Blues this year properly. They almost beat the Hurricanes. They beat the Blues with 13 men, like a big win. So yeah, they can beat anyone. It's just they got to get everything firing at the right time.
Yeah, fair enough. So we agree on most of these this week. Are we agreeing on all of them?
Blues, Reds, Hurricanes, Brumbies, Moana. Yeah, I think we are.
Oh, that's never
Fine,
fun.
give me the Force to beat the Blues, just to mix it up.
You don't believe that. It wasn't your first pick. Anyway, everyone, thank you for watching. Please do remember to hit that like and subscribe button. Go to Aiden's TikTok. Go show him some love and support there. Do remember to join the Discord. It's the first link in the bio. We will see you guys next time. Bye-bye.